In this video, I want to talk about the top 3 ways to grow your business on a budget. And if you don't have this giant marketing budget, I recommend you focus all your efforts on something that is compounding. And what I mean by that is something where you put in effort now and it pays dividends for weeks, months, and years to come. So you might ask yourself, what the hell does he mean by compounding? What does that even mean? The first time I started to understand how powerful compounding can be is when I was learning about investments, talking about investing money every single month into a 401k or some type of investment vehicle and how that money can compound over time. See, what happens is you get a return on the investment, ideally, right in the first year, but then your principal is a little bit larger. So the next year, you make even more money and more money and more money. The same principle applies to your business. If you do something that has a compounding benefit to it, you will not only get paid for the efforts now, but you'll get paid for years to come. So hopefully that's exciting for you because I'm going to show you a couple compounding vehicles that actually exist today. The first compounding vehicle is content. Producing content can have a compounding effect. The reason is, no matter how much effort you put into making the content, it can be seen by one person or a billion people. Now, of course, the quality of that content and your skills of distribution of that content are going to matter in terms of getting 1 view or a billion views. However, you only had to put the effort in once to create the content, which can be seen time and time again. I was watching some videos on YouTubers and how they're earning money on a long time horizon. And what's interesting is before they ever even had a following, they might have had great videos. And those videos might have not had many views. But now that they're popular, people find their newest video and go back and watch the other ones. That's a compounding vehicle. The content they made years ago is still paying dividends. It's still ranking in search engines oftentimes, or ranking on YouTube, I should say. And it's also getting views, which in turn is making them money. Now, I'm not suggesting that you create a YouTube account, but I'm using that as an example of how something you do now can compound into the future. So content is a great one. Content can live on forever. Someone can be watching your video or reading your article, whether you wrote it 5 years ago or 5 minutes ago. And if you do it right, more and more people will hopefully consume it over a period of time. So that's one. And you want to create a strategy around content. If you're an expert in any industry, you can begin to produce content, whether that's audio, video, text, whatever it is. Now, there's a challenge with that strategy is it's very, very long term, meaning typically, unless you're super skilled at this or you get lucky, it's going to be hard to produce revenue immediately from content marketing. It just is. It's really difficult. Number 2 is faster, and it is a compounding vehicle if done right. And that's the power of networking or building strategic relationships or partnerships, right? I know it's not overly sexy and you're like, oh, I wanted something better, but this is a real strategy that actually works. Right, if you want to start building relationships, you can look at your local chamber of commerce. There's plenty of events there. You can look at specific networking groups that are local to you where you can start to build those relationships and hopefully pass some business back and forth. Also, make sure to check out my other video on strategic partnerships where I walk you through exactly how to build those from scratch and how I've had clients and ourselves build those into millions of dollars of revenue. One of the easiest ways to do this is, again, check out your local chamber of commerce in your town, the neighboring county. There's plenty of them, I promise you that. You can also go to meetup.com and look for local events with business owners or people in your industry that you think would be good to attend, and get out there and do it, right? People do business they know, like, and trust. You want to be able to have people know, like, and trust you, and the way they're going to do that is by meeting you in person. It's definitely one of the fastest ways to generating revenue, and it is a compounding vehicle because the relationship you create now could literally pay dividends for years to come, right? Someone you met today that you've built a relationship with, they send you a client, they send you another client a month later, another one another month later, another one a year later, or you can see how that can play out for years and be compounding. The third compounding vehicle, which I think is one of the most powerful that gets so overlooked in marketing, is a referral strategy. What I mean by that is, if you're running a business, you're a business person, you've probably received referrals in the past. Referrals are often some of the best leads because you've already bypassed some of the hardest part, which is building that rapport and building that know, like, trust. If someone that they really trust referred you to them, that's really powerful, and oftentimes referrals close at a much higher rate than any cold lead. And you want to know something wild? Most companies have no referral strategy. They get them when they get them. That's it. They don't actually put any effort into creating a referral machine, which is so critically important, and it's often the lowest hanging fruit, and the easiest way to grow revenue is building that referral engine. I've consulted with companies doing 10 million a year, 25, 50, over 100 million, and I can count on one hand the amount of times I've seen someone have a real referral strategy. Here's one of my number one tips for generating more referrals, and it uses a combination of human psychology along with this reciprocity factor and why it's so important. So I'm going to give you this right now. There's all these times throughout the customer relationship that should have this win experience, this feeling of winning, where the customer feels so happy that they're working with you because you helped them achieve the result that they wanted. That is the time to generate the referral. When someone's in a great mood because you've just done something great for them, your product or service, or you personally have done it, that's when you want to ask for the referral. So if you're a marketing agency, it's the first time they close some awesome deal from one of your leads. If you're a plumber, it's when you save their house, right, from the leak that was coming through the ceiling. If you're an IT company, maybe it's the first time that there was an attack on your systems and the IT company was able to stop the attack. There's all these different wins that take place throughout the customer relationship, or should be, and that is the time to strike. That's the time to ask because they're so excited about what you've done for them. You've produced this win, you've helped them in some way, shape, or form, and that's when you want to ask for the referral. So let's say you're a construction company and you get this wonderful email from some homeowner where you just replaced their bathroom and they're saying how their guests love it, it's beautiful, it's exactly what they dreamed of. That's the time to strike. Now you can just reply to the email, but you know what I recommend? Call them. It's personal. They're excited. They're happy. You did even more than you promised. They're so happy with the result. Call them, say, I'm so happy to hear that. That's why we do this. And I'd really love if I could help anyone else in the neighborhood or anyone else that you might know that wants to redo their bathroom. Is there anybody you can think of that would be worth having a conversation with? It's at that moment that that person is more likely to go out of their way because they're so happy with what you did for them that they might give you 2 or 3 names or ask around or remember somebody that mentioned to them that wanted to get their bathroom redone. If you're the business owner, you want to train your sales reps on this, right? You want to train your account managers on this, that when they experience that win, that's the time you want to ask for the referral in a nice personal way. Now, if you want to take this one step further and really try to build a referral engine and referral culture, when they experience that win, you have something set up. You're either sending them something physically in the mail to thank them for their business, to further solidify in their mind that you are the right partner for them, you are the right service provider, your product or service is the best, your company cares. So I'm talking simple things. Send them an edible arrangement, right, with a handwritten card. Send them brownies for the office. Send them some type of swag pack with all different cool things inside of it. This doesn't have to be expensive. This could be $20 to $100, but I would almost guarantee if you have any type of high ticket product or service, that $50 or $100 spend will pay itself back 100x. Try to imagine that you are a marketing agency and you help construction companies generate leads. Now, the owner of the construction company reaches out because you just got them one of the best clients they've ever had. They redid the kitchen, the bathroom. It was an entire downstairs renovation worth $250,000 to them, and they are ecstatic. Now, imagine a day later at their office, a big box of chocolate chip cookies shows up with a handwritten note from you guys thanking them for their business and asking them for a referral. The likelihood that they send you referrals goes through the roof. And this is one of the biggest hacks, which you could almost argue is not really marketing, but I would argue in some ways it is, because nobody has a strategy like this, and it's very easy to manufacture this strategy and deploy it, and it will absolutely be one of the strongest return on investment you can possibly get. So I hope this got your wheels turning, and you can see how you can use these compounding vehicles to be more and more successful over time. And I hope you're really going to dive into the referral strategy, because I promise you that's one of the best ones you can possibly deploy, and it's not that difficult to do. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.